Hey everyone, I'm 95 Fathoms and welcome to my Brilliant Diamond Dream Team quest. This was a team of shinies I hunted for immediately following the release of BDSP back in 2021, though at the time the games came out I didn't have an HDMI capture card and wasn't sure if I was going to keep recording my hunts in general. So all I have for most of these shinies is Switch clips, with the exception of the final hunt, which I did get live on my then new HDMI capture card. Unlike many DTQs hunted in these games, this one did not begin with a starter hunt. In hindsight, I kind of wish I had done that since these may well have been the last games in which we're able to hunt a starter without having to hatch for it, but my mentality was that I'd much rather do the hunts in the original games, something that I think still stands true, particularly since I initially went into Brilliant Diamond planning on a quick, casual playthrough so I could go back to hunting in the older games. As with other recent Pokemon releases though, I eventually caved to my urge to shiny hunt at least one Pokemon, and then that snowballed into an entire dream team. This all started when I entered Eterna Forest, unable to resist the temptation to try for maybe one quick shiny through the double encounters with Cheryl, with my ultimate hope being to land on the 20% Murkrow since it's one of my favorite Pokemon. One day after release, I wound up with this shiny after only 1,142 encounters. While Budew was not my target, I've always been a huge fan of Roselia and Roserade's shinies, so I gladly took my shiny Budew and incorporated it into my team. But given how quickly I'd found this one shiny, I decided I was willing to try one more phase for Murkrow before moving on from Eterna, and I got my second shiny only a few hours later. I felt really good having made it out of Eterna with my target under phase odds and way under shiny odds, with Murkrow having taken me only 658 encounters, and so I gladly added Murkrow to my team. While I do like Honchkrow quite a bit, Murkrow is my favorite of the two, and so I opted to keep my Purple Crow unevolved. My luck so far had treated me extremely well, and I was watching various other shiny hunters continue forward on their own dream teams, so it was at this point I finally caved and planned out my own full dream team, with my next undertaken hunt being for another long-time favorite of mine and my favorite of all the Pika clones, Pachirisu. At the Valley Windworks, you can lead with static for an easy 62.5% encounter rate for it, and I dove in feeling pretty confident about my chances for getting it phase 1. But at 770 encounters, I found something else. Not only was this not my target, but static reduces Bidoof to a mere 5% rate of appearance in this area, which felt like some real monkey's paw luck, particularly since I blew yet another quick phase on this. But I stayed determined, and I found another shiny at the end of that same day at only 618 encounters. With how few encounters both of these shinies took, it practically felt like Bidoof was just a bonus on my way to my target, so things were looking up. Ironically, I ended up growing pretty fond of the Bidoof by the end of the quest, keeping it on my team while hunting so I could use Yawn to help catch things. I turned now to my fourth team member, which would be a Stunky evolved into Skuntank. While I do like the Pokemon, Skuntank isn't necessarily a top favorite for me, but I've always thought the shiny change from Deep Purple to Vibrant Crimson was stunning. I went for the hunt on Route 206, underneath Cycling Road, with Stunky appearing 25% of the time. This hunt also had the bonus that my final team member, Bronzor, was available on the route at a 10% rate, so there was over a 1 in 3 chance of getting a target here. However, I yet again found a shiny that was a fairly low encounter rate. The bright side is that my luck was still treating me unbelievably well, as this shined to just under 1,000 at 974 encounters. Unfortunately, this is where my ridiculously good luck would finally turn the other way, with the next hunt going over odds and then over double odds. Shortly before hitting triple odds, I decided I really would prefer not to get a phase at this point, so I switched from simply using no guard to speed up encounters to instead using a level 16 repel trick with hustle to skew the encounters to be a 50-50 between Stunky and Ponyta. At a whopping 13,442 encounters, I finally got my chance at the coin toss. Ponyta is, of course, a stunning shiny, so this wasn't disappointing in a vacuum, but going over triple odds just to lose the coin toss wasn't the outcome I'd hoped for. I certainly hadn't gone 13k just to give up, though, so I kept my 50-50 hustle trick going and progressed on to phase 3, where I offset the previous phase's bad luck with one of my fastest 4096 hunts to date. The mere 504 encounters taken to find the shiny skunk definitely felt like they offset whatever bad luck I'd had on Ponyta, and I happily moved on to the penultimate hunt of the quest, which was fishing for Finneon. I used no guard to guarantee encounters in lieu of suction cups due to the glitch BDSP carried over from the original Sinnoh games, and I got to work with my good rod on Route 205, though there are any number of locations where you can do the same hunt. I got close to hitting half odds when, at 1,952 fishing encounters, I reeled in a shiny. It wasn't what I was looking for, but Magikarp's a good shiny, and it was a 55-45 split in Magikarp's favor, so it was somewhat expected. I kept the hunt going through the end of the year, and on New Year's Day 2022, I found my second phase. I've heard a lot of people over the years refer to Finneon and Lumineon as some of the most forgettable Pokemon, and I guess I kind of understand because they don't have much prominence compared with Sinnoh's other water types, like Gastrodon and Floatzel, but I love their designs and cries, and their bioluminescence in BDSP only added to Finneon being a target I was thrilled to pick up. With my fishing finished, there was only one target left to clear out, so I went back by Cycling Road to pick up my Bronzor. Rather than hunting on Route 206, I opted for double encounters with Mira in Wayward Cave. But now I had a capture card to use, so this hunt I'll let speak for itself. That's a shiny Bronzor. Oh my god. That's a shiny Bronzor. Oh my god. I was just wrapping up the hunts for the night. I was going to try to go to 4,500 for Bronzor and 6,500 on my Cryogonal hunt, which I'm working on right now. And then it just, I got distracted. I realized that, you know, I found a shiny Zubat. I wasn't strong enough to knock out the Kadabra in one hit, and it would knock out the Zubat in one hit, so I just went and grinded up my Magnezone, or what used to be a Magnemite, now it's a Magnezone, so it can knock out Kadabra in one hit. Crazy that I did 4,000 encounters, not properly prepared. That was really dumb, but, anyway, I got so distracted with that I was like, well, it's late, it's 2:54 a.m. right now. I'm just going to stop at 4,400. I'm at 4,392 encounters. Shiny Bronzor shows up. I'm at a loss. This is my This is the crowning achievement of my dream team in Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl first phase. I mean, it's a 70% encounter rate, I believe. It's somewhere in the 70s. I think it's exactly 70, but I could be remembering wrong. Yeah, I mean, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm actually gonna play through Brilliant Diamond now. I can actually play through the game. But that's a dream team done. Caught. I have not yet. I don't think I came up with a name for this yet. I was trying to think of one and I didn't. There's the shiny Dex. Oh my god. I'm reeling. I'm absolutely reeling. We're not gonna give it a nickname. We're gonna just send it to the box for now. We're gonna save real quick, and we are going to knock ourselves out here so that we can escape without Mira leaving the cave in case I ever decide to come back here. I'm not really sure why I would, but okay, let's go into the grass and show this baby off. Oh, you know what I didn't check? I didn't check nature. I didn't check ability. I don't really know that either ability is better for it, but it's an interesting... speaking of, actually, I didn't end up getting Pokerus, did I? I don't think I checked that. I'm sure I didn't. I already got Pokerus once during this quest while I was hunting Stunky. I think that was between the first and second phase for Stunky. Okay, so no Pokerus. I'm gonna guess nature sassy. It's timid. That's not good. Bronzor's not fast. But it is, I think it's a tank. I would assume it's a special attacker, but what do I know? And its ability is levitate. Cool. Alright, let's show it off. Let's get on the bike. Wayward Cave has weirdly slow encounter rates, by the way. I don't understand. You can't use Sweet Scent. It's the only cave in the game you can't use Sweet Scent in. Shiny Bronzor. Oh, that looks so good. I'm not like the biggest fan of shiny of Bronzor as a Pokemon. I've actually never used one before, but I've just always thought that shiny Bronzor and Bronzong looked really cool. So that's why they made it onto the Dream Team, in addition to the fact that, I guess we're showing it off again, in addition to the fact that being able to double encounter in Wayward was a nice way to get through stuff quickly, and this definitely went quickly. I know some people have preferred to hunt it on Route 206 where you can Sweet Scent for it, but I really still feel like the double encounters are more consistent. But Wayward Cave is weird. You go like, you know, you get an encounter in 5 seconds, and then it takes like a minute to get the next encounter, and it's really weird that you can't Sweet Scent there. But anyway, that's my Dream Team complete, and I guess it's time to play through the game now. I definitely hit a bit of a rough patch during the Stunky hunt with that one phase over triple odds, but it's hard to complain much about that when the entire rest of this quest was so incredibly lucky. Luckier than any other shiny hunting quest I've undertaken, even if you account for the fact that I usually hunt with 1 in 8,192 odds. Across my 6 team members in 4 phases, I racked up only 26,024 encounters with an average of 2,602 per shiny. Only 2 of the hunts even went over odds, every other hunt was below half odds, and half of the hunts were under 1,000. Given how quickly I cleared out this set of hunts, I don't know that I feel particularly accomplished about this quest compared with others, but I've always reflected on this time in Brilliant Diamond with a lot of warmth, and that's only grown in the years since its release. BDSP have plenty of flaws, and there are many common criticisms I agree with, but I'd largely categorize BDSP's failings as those of bad remakes and not bad games. Adventuring through Sinnoh is still fun, and as someone who loves the surprise of random encounters and the thoughtfulness and low pressure of turn-based battles, BDSP feel like possibly the last modern experience with the classic Pokemon genre versus the open-world action RPG realm the games since then have leaned toward, giving them a unique quality among the other Switch games. While I wish I had more of this quest properly recorded, I'm glad I have what I do to take me back to that time, casually hunting in handheld mode and staying up so late hunting that the nighttime tint changed to early morning. I can't really think of a situation in which I'd choose BDSP over the Gen 4 Sinnoh titles anymore, but I hope I find a reason to shiny hunt in them again to experience the gorgeous battle backgrounds, cozy nostalgic vibes, and some of the most challenging Elite Four matches in the series, if slightly softened by the affection-fueled anime protagonist superpowers.
I have the power of God and anime on my side! Wait,
I hope you enjoyed coming through this quest with me, and I'll see you in my next shiny hunting endeavor. For now, best of luck on all your hunts, and take care.